What's going on, everyone? So, welcome to my first episode of Deck versus Deck. Now, this is a new series I wanted to do on my channel because I've never seen any other YouTuber do something that's similar. And what Deck versus Deck is, before I get to actual contestants this week, it's a series where I'm trying to do at least once a week where you guys send me your best deck list in a deck profile fashion. 4 to 5 minute videos of displaying why your deck is good, talking about your deck, and just going over the profile and why you run certain cards. Now, the way that I want this video to be judged is based on how good the profile was, how good the contestants' explanations was, and just overall, which deck you guys thought better. So this week I got my homie Master Swag King and his Teller Knights taking up a subscriber of mine who's using his Dark Magician deck. They both submitted fantastic profiles explaining their decks in detail. So with all that being said, guys, let's get into it. Which deck is better, Teller Knights or Dark Magician? Let's find out. Without further ado, let's begin.
What up, everybody? Welcome to my Dark Magician deck profile. I'm gonna go ahead and try and make this quick. Got about like 5 minutes for you guys. So to start off, 3 Dark Magicians. Gotta run all 3. The next card I got, you're gonna be running 2 Magician of Dark Illusions. He is your Dark Magician on field, and he can get special summoned off of any activation of spell or trap cards during your opponent's turn. The next card, you gotta run 3 Magician Rods, mainly because he's a searcher of the deck. He gives you any spell or trap card that says Dark Magician, but you do want to run 2 Call by the Grave. If he gets Ash Blossom, it sucks, so you gotta run it. Next card to run is 2 Apprentice Illusion Magicians. The reason why I run 2, I think 3 is too cloggy, 2 is perfect. I run the Wind Witch engine as well. I got 3 Ice Bells, 2 Glass Bells, and then 1 Snow Bell. It's the best ratio to get. I do run the Spellbook engine as well, so I got 1 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. Don't think more than 1 is needed. You got spell cards to search, draw cards, good to go. My hand traps, I run 2 Ash Blossoms and then 1 Drone Lock. I do have a 3rd Ash Blossom, but my friend's borrowing it, but I kind of like having the Drone Lock in here, so I'll mix it up around a little bit. For the spells, I got 3 Dark Magical Circles, 1 Illusion Magic, and 1 Dark Magic Attack. Those are the only Dark Magician spell cards that I use in this deck. I think everything else is kind of not that good. Spellbooks, I run 2 Secrets and then 2 Knowledge. Same thing, I don't think you need any more than that. You got enough draw power, you got enough search power. Like I said earlier, I do run 2 Call by the Grave. I do run 1 Magician's Right Hand. I like it a lot, just to kind of keep it interesting, especially if you're racing against like Trickstars or Trickstar, Sky Strikers. I don't know. For Dark Magician traps, I run 3 Magician Navigations, 2 Eternal Souls. I think 2 is better than 3 for Eternal Souls. You don't want to see it too many times. It gets a little cloggy as well. The rest of my traps, I got 2 Solemn Strikes, 1 Solemn Warning. They do get swapped out like game 2, game 3 just because of time. Don't want to burn myself down myself. So for the extra deck, I run 2 Link Spiders. They're really good, especially with getting your Dark Magician off field or bringing it back with Eternal Soul. Run 1 Proxy Dragon, 1 Underclock Taker, and 1 Cleave for Genius. And then I'm trying out the Triple Burst Dragon. Seems pretty cool. I like his negation, so gonna see how it goes. For the XCs, I run 2 Evon Illusion Magicians, and then 1 Evon High Magician. He's okay. Don't really see him too often, but I like having him in there just in case. I run 1 Naruto, 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal, 1 Galaxy Tomahawk, and 1 Big Eye just cause I thought he was pretty nice, so figured I'd just keep him in there. If I get a board load at one point, I'll take that out for the board load. And then for the synchros, I run 1 Winter Bell and 1 Crystal Wing. Gotta have it for the Wind Witch engine. Works out really well. Nice first turn. For my side deck, I do a little bit of interestingness to it. I do run 3 DD Crows and then 2 Ghost Ogres. The Ghost Ogre is pretty staple to me, but the DD Crow I figured is actually pretty nice against like, I don't know, random decks or like Sky Strikers. Get rid of some spells inside of there because it targets everything. I run 3 Chaos Hunters for the Trickstar matchup. They can't banish their, reincarnation, so I like it. I run 3 Shared Rides. It's like the Maxine spell card, so why not? It's good against the Sky Striker matchup. I run 1 Terraforming and 3 Secret Villages. I like it. Totally blew out my friend who plays Sky Strikers and Trickstars, so I like it a lot, so figured I'd use it. Thank you everybody, and see you next time.
Hey guys, I am here doing this deck profile for InnovationYGO, my good friend. He is doing a Yu-Gi-Oh deck challenge for Rogue decks, and I always enjoy playing Satellar Knights. My name is Master Swag King, and as per, I'm going to keep this relatively really short because I don't want to take you guys up time too long, but I'm going to go through the deck list and then show you guys something that you can do. Normally, you can play the deck very standard. You don't have to run Card of Demises or Pot of Desires, but I run them due to the fact that they add a lot of consistency toward this deck, and since this is a rogue deck, you need all of the draw power and consistency cards that you have. Also, having Card of Demise and Pot of Desires, it lets you get into your traps earlier so you can stun your opponent. This deck came out in 2015 and I've been playing it ever since, and I love this deck a lot. Also, it has one of the most powerful rank 4 monsters in the entire game, Satellar Trevere, which is a giant Shrune. Now, I don't have an Isolde. I just pretend one of the cards is an Isolde. Like, I threw in, I think this one. This is supposed to be an Isolde. I was supposed to get an Isolde for like $8 when they were $8, and I forgot. So yeah, that's supposed to be an Isolde. Those are the only 2 links I run at the moment. But when we get that Star Link monster and Summon the Horizon, I'll be running 2 of those and taking out 2 cards too. So I'm gonna go through the deck list rather quickly, but not too quickly, so you can understand. And yeah, let's go. Alright, so you run 3 to Neb. Now you run 3 to Neb because it searches every single card. Now, these are foreign copies, so I'll basically read it for you in English. If this card is summoned, you can add one Tellar Knight monster from your deck to your hand, except Tellar Knight Deneb. You can only use this effect of Tellar Knight Deneb once per turn. That's it. He's your... I don't think this is a girl. This is a girl. So, this is your searcher. You run 3 of her no matter what. That is an instant 3 of. And it says, all the Tellar Knights say if this card is summoned. So if they bottomless it, trap hole it, or do whatever to it, as long as it doesn't negate the summon, you are good. Altair. Altair is your monster reborn. So for those people who are playing back in the day know what Wolf Bark is. Wolf Bark brings back a monster. This, if this is summoned, brings back Deneb. So if you summon Altair, bring back Deneb. Deneb gets the effect because Altair doesn't negate the Tellar Knight monster's effect. So yeah, you run 3 Altair because why would you not run triple monster reborn of the card in your deck? And then there's 3 Anukulai. So this is your Foolish Burial. She's also one of the strongest Tellar Knight monsters in your deck. Actually, the strongest Tellar Knight monster, good one that you run. She puts things in your graveyard. So as the deck more and more gets down to like the grind game and stuff like that, she also comes in very handy to put Tellar Knight monsters in your graveyard because we run traps like Call the Haunted and Back to the Front. Also, if you have a slow hand, you can summon her, put something in the graveyard, and that way next turn, if you have like Altair, you can start plays off like that. So that's why we run Tellar Knight Anukulai. And Vega is pretty much, I summon this and I summon another Tellar Knight monster card. That's pretty much it. The reason why you don't run 3 is because it clogs, and that's why you don't run 3. And then, like I said, I'm going to go speed through this pretty quickly. So Card of Demise is that we play 3 because we want to draw all our trap cards and speed through our deck. We run Pot of Desires. It's not an Egg 9. If you believe this is an Egg 9, then you should just quit the game. Tellar Knight Genesis, this is the deck's own version of Twin Twister. So you run this. Be careful how you play this because it doesn't initially act... Its condition is better than Twin Twister because you don't have to discard anything. But depending on how many Tellar Knight monsters are on the field, that's how many backward you get to destroy. But just keep in mind how you actually use the card. Skybridge. I run 1 Skybridge. You don't have to run a Skybridge. I run this to basically, like, if I have a bad hand, I can swap out, like, let's say I'll open, like, you know, a Vega, and then there's a bunch of garbage, and my hand is just full of traps. I can switch the Vega out for Deneb. So, it has its uses there. I don't run multiples. Actually, I would consider bumping this to 2, but I see 1 is just fine. Powerful spell cards you run is like Monster Reborn, Rhoda, Regeki, Soul Charge. These cards are all just great 1-ofs that you run. Be careful how you run Soul Charge with the new time rules. That should be self-explanatory. This is the deck's own themed Infernity Barrier. This is the main revival trap card of the deck called the Haunted. You run this at 3. It's all 3 strikes and warning. Judgment you already kind of have it in your alpha, and alpha benefits you more than judgment, so that's why I don't have judgment in the deck. You can run judgment if you want, but I think these 4 are just fine. Phoenix Chain with Trevere. If these are on the field, you can recycle your floodgates. So if you had anti-spells on the field and these on the field and Call-Downs on the field, you can recycle them all back to your hand and just use them again. So that's why we run Phoenix Chain. Phoenix Chain also stops monster effects. So if you run it, it's going for like a Firewall, Spiral Sleeper Agent, then you can stop them. Drowning Mirror Force. It's very easy for your opponent to knock off your Tellarknight monsters themselves. So cards like Drowning Mirror Force are instant blowouts. So if they knock away, they like somehow destroy your board, just get rid of all your Tellarknight monsters and stuff like that, and you're open. Your opponent swings at you, they think it's game. This, you activate this. If they have no negates to stop this, then they pretty much lose the game because everything goes back to the extra deck. The reason why I do not run anything more than the other Mirror Force is because they're not really beneficial to run right now. Alright, so double anti-spell. This is a no-brainer on why you should be running this, but it starts Sky Strikers, decks that run a lot of spells. It slows them down so you can play Yu-Gi-Oh! Back to the front is better than Oasis of Dragon Soldier of now, so we run 2 back to the front. And 2 Bottomless Trap Hole when our opponent spams the board. So that is the main deck. And like a side deck, you tailor it to whatever you are playing at your local meta. So basically, the extra deck I'll run through it fairly quickly. Double Trevere, double Batlamus, 1 Deltaros, 1 Diamond, 1 Castell, 1 number 41, 1 Abyss Dweller, 1 Tornado Dragon, 1 number 86, Tsukiyomi, Paladynamo, Deagle Talker, and Isolde.
Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you guys want to be part of the deck versus deck series, you guys can shoot me an email via Google Drive with your deck profile. And I prefer these profiles to definitely be recorded. But if you guys want to do it in a dueling book or YGO Pro fashion, feel free to do that as well. I know everyone doesn't have a fancy camera, but it's 2018. You guys should at least have your camera phones. And you don't have to just limit the video to a profile. Just take the 5 minutes displaying your deck the best way you possibly can. You can do a mini little duel, a mini skit, however you guys want to explain the deck in detail. So who do you guys think won this week? I want you guys to vote right here for the first episode of the Deck versus Deck Challenge. Was it Dark Magicians? Was it Tellarknights? Let me know. So with all that being said, man, post your thoughts and opinions about this video in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you haven't. This is InnovationYGO, and I'm signing out. Peace.